family. A family. A family.
Unknown caller.
Uh-oh. A family. Y'all know who this is, right? You don't know? Y'all don't know who this is? This is, y'all want me to tell y'all who this is? This is Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. 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 Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation show. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again for those who coming on late. For those who coming on late, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again because it's Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation show. What's up, family? Y'all know what the day is. The day is Wednesday, right? 4 o'clock. 4-1. 4-1. 4-1. 4 o'clock. And this is the Couch Talk. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. And y'all know what it is. It's about keeping it real. And for y'all that don't know, I do a regular broadcast stream from Restream Broadcast Network, which is directly in front of me. I got Instagram on one side, I got TikTok on the other side. I've been trying to merge everything in, embed everything in, so that I can do it all from one live streaming platform. So I have to use these different, outlets right now. But other than that, today's topic, and it's all about keeping it real, is the 12-step spiritual journey. The 12-step. I guess I should add the S on it, right? Spiritual journey. And this is basically, I'm kind of basing it around the NA program. Because I've been clean, January the 26th will be 32 years. One day at a time. 32 accumulating years. I did not expect, be honest with y'all, I did not expect to get clean and stay clean. I know I was sick and tired. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I yelled out, God, please help me. And I shared that last week, and I'm going to share it every week because that was the beginning of my process of turning my life around. Now, I was the type of person, I could, in the process of what I was doing, I could stop using, but I couldn't stay stopped. And that's what I understand today. I ain't had no problem in stopping for a while, but I never knew that you can stay stopped, that you can stop and stay stopped a day at a time, which I accumulated a day at a time, a little over 31 years now. And to be honest, I had 32 years of not doing alcohol, which I never thought I would stop drinking. I accepted the fact that I was going to become unalive or in the streets, passed away with my boots on. Because I grew up with John Wayne, James Cagney, and all that, right? So you want to die like your heroes. And that was my mindset coming up. But I don't like talking about the using. What I do talk about, from what I understand, you touch on it a little bit. And the reason why I do this, because we have so many young children that's using. See, I started out smoking the weed at 11 years old, right? Around 13, as soon as I turned 13, I started drinking Thunderbird. It was a cup, plastic cup back then, right? That we had them colorful cups. And my cousin gave me a cup, probably about this big back then. I was 13, full of Thunderbird. Thunderbird. Don't worry, this coffee. And I thought I was grown. I thought you couldn't tell me nothing. I just turned 13, I'm getting down with the big boys. That's how I felt. And along that line, we was doing some other things. And, you know what I mean? So I'm 14 years old. Now I'm saying this because now when I look back at it, and we have young kids that's hooked up in a sense like that. And then mind you, I did not know until maybe about, I'm gonna say maybe 10 years ago, maybe, right? When a lot of younger people started coming in and they was talking about the pills they was taking. Now I ain't talking about what they taking now with that kind of substitutes for that, and all that type, that substituted for that. They was taking pills that made them feel like they was, I mind you, I'm clean. So hearing that kind of blew me away. It blew my mind, right? But I was listening to some people talking about younger people, talking about like 21, 18, 19 came in the meetings, right? But anyway, and that process, it blew my mind, because I'm clean and I'm old school. So just to hear that and to go into some of these facilities where we have 9, 10, 11-year-olds that's doing the do, blew me. Now, mind you, I started young, but I couldn't see myself young. So now I'm looking at people or children around my age or younger that has started, doing stuff where they was put away to get the necessary help at a young age. I'm like, wow. Because now, guess what? I'm seeing myself in these children. See, you can't see you. You just do what you do when it comes to living life. So you don't see your behavior because it looks normal and natural. So, all right, I'm seeing these babies and it's blowing me away, even to this day. That's why I do what I do, y'all. I come on and I talk about life and life situations or struggles or challenges. And then I'll move into a process because this is the way I was taught. You only talk a little bit about, we know what the issue is. So we know what the issue is. You only talk a little bit about it so you can identify. So somebody can identify. This is how I was taught. You listen to learn and learn to listen. And they used to tell me stuff like, Steve, if we want to know where the cop, we'll ask you. And that's all I knew. Hey, come here, hey, I know it. They was like, shh. And they had to do and say certain things to me, really, to humble me. See, people want to still talk that Gucci stuff. Oh, well, I wouldn't let nobody talk to me that way. No, you better sit your butt down, take the cotton out your ears, put it in your mouth. Because if you call me out to talk, I'm going to teach you the way they taught me. And if you get mad and you want to run back, that's your problem. But somebody need to hear it. Somebody need the encouragement to understand a day at a time. As long as you live, you don't never, ever, 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 ever have to pick it up again. A day at a time, you don't never have to pick it up again. You don't never have to use. And when I say use, I'm not just talking about, the drugs and the alcohol. I'm not just talking about that. Because I found out in this process that I have an addictive personality. Food, sex, lying, manipulating, cheating, all of that goes along with the game of being deceitful. So when y'all look at people and you see certain behaviors in people, and mind you, I'm talking about our babies too, and you see certain defiant behaviors in them and wonder why they're acting and behaving the way they are, you might not understand why, but guess what? I didn't understand why. But I knew something wasn't right. Now, I never done nothing like this to nobody. I used to have, during my drinking times, I used to wake up in the middle of the night, running to the bathroom, gagging, throwing up, because it was like I was dreaming about this baby being choked up. And I always said 18 months. I was dreaming about this baby being choked on the penis. 18-month-old. I always said 18 months. Now, guess what? I never did nothing like that to nobody. I never did nothing like that to nobody. So I'm gagging, running to the bathroom. So in the process, now mind you, kind of catch me, because I don't want to lose nobody. I don't want to lose nobody. I know I didn't do nothing like that to nobody. So the 18-month-old baby, I don't know why, but I kept thinking it was probably me. It was me. It was me. So once I got clean, y'all, I had to go back and revisit me. So what they told me when I came around on a Monday night, 7 o'clock on Pennsylvania Avenue, I will never forget as long as I live. It was a Monday night. Right now, it's a boxing center. It was a community center. And I went in there for a meeting on a Monday night at 7 o'clock, 31 years ago. Normally, they don't allow you to share when you new. So understand the reason why I reach out towards our children too. The same way I do adults to deal with whatever issue they are going through. So anyway, I get in here, and I want to say their names if it pop in my head, because I haven't seen them in God knows when. Marlo, James, it was a bunch of them. And they let me talk, y'all, and my mother had passed away. My brother had got killed at that time. I was hurting. And they hugged me and they told me, they said, we're going to love you until you learn to love yourself. And you could not tell me I didn't love me. But putting all that poison in me was telling me, was telling everybody else, oh, he don't love him. But you could not tell me I didn't love me. I wasn't a responsible or sociable addict. You could not tell me that. I was responsible, but I was spiraling out of control. So they say you got to reach your bottom. You know what I mean? So what they did, they allowed me to share. I'm crying. They coming up. They came up. They hugged me. They said they gonna love me till I learn to love myself. So the thing was, if they don't know me. But if they gonna love me more than me, I need to learn to love me. You get me? So in that process, right, they told me to come back. This was January 25th, 1993. I just shot some dope before I went. And I said, if I ever like dope more than I like cane, I'm gonna stop. That's just what I said. Not really paying attention because I like the cocaine better, right? But anyway, I was starting to take the dope more. But and that day I had did some dope. And I went to a meeting because it gave me the courage to go and be productive and to be responsible and do stuff like that. I would have to drink a little bit or do certain things to get the courage to go out and take care of business. Not overboard, but take care of business. Well, anyway, that day, that's why, not knowing I'm going to an NA meeting. I'm going to an NA meeting, right? And that was January the 25th, 1993. And they said, come back clean. And when I came back January the 26th, I have not used a day at a time since then. They told me if you ever forget the last time you used, you are doomed to repeat. So I know y'all can't see it, but I keep it up front. The last time that I used was on a Monday, January the 25th, 1993. A day at a time, y'all. I don't never, ever, ever, never, ever, ever want to use again. And I just focus on right now. And I gotta share it. I gotta share it. And they blocked me over here, but it's okay. It's okay, whatever y'all just did. Whatever they just did, I don't know if they shut it down on TikTok or just blocked it a little bit. But I have to watch it because they look at that as certain things you say. They look at that. Tap, y'all. Tap for me. Tap. And sometimes certain things you say over here, they use it as, it can hurt other people's feelings. So I kind of understand why TikTok do what they do. You know, it's just that I'm talking, so I can't touch it over there to put whatever in. But most people that listens on here, they know when they violate you in a sense. Either you push F1 or you start tapping just so they won't shut it down. They didn't shut it down. They just kind of sent me a warning because of some of the stuff I was saying. And that's something that's about TikTok. And then they should wonder, now you understand why they talking about banning TikTok. But anyway, I gotta reword certain things. I gotta reword it. But real is real. Okay? Real is real. And that's called my First Amendment right. So a lot of these shows does that. Live, you know, medias. I don't get that with my regular restream. That's my broadcast network. So I don't get that. You violating community, and then it teaches you what to say and what not to say. So it has its good and it has its bad, negative, you know what I mean? But anyway, let me get back. So the reason why I do what I do, y'all, number one, remember when I said I screamed out and I said, God, please help me. See, little did I know that I was going to become a sponsor. So I was learning now in this process. In those areas where I used to lie, I had to start learning to be honest. I'm like, what? Because I didn't know that I could be honest. I mean, I knew, but the manipulating and all of that, that was the way. But I didn't know, in a sense, that I could be honest. And I start hearing things like, to thy own self be true. I'm like, what? Say you can lie to everybody else, Steve, but you can't lie to yourself. So now, mind you, look, I'm starting to look at Steve. I'm starting to learn to be honest with Steve. I'm starting to feel this thing inside. What's going on? I'm starting to feel you know, this tingly where if I do something that goes against being honest, it didn't feel right to my spirit or my conscience. So I had to start learning how to live more honest with me. It's not about y'all. I had to learn to be honest with myself, true to thyself. I had to learn to start having faith back in myself. That's being open-minded. So where I'm going, I'm going to get ready to talk about the how of the 12-step program. I had to learn how to be honest, open-minded, and willing. So what I started understanding, I had to learn to be honest, then have faith. That's being open-minded, having faith, and being willing, trusting. Because by this time, I'm starting to do, you know, I got the sponsor, and I'm sorry because I'm trying not to jump too fast, right? Try not to jump too fast, because they told me, sit down, shut up, take the cotton out your ears, put it in your mouth. We want to know what we want to know what the cop will ask you, Steve. All right, let me tell y'all, shut up. Well, anyway, that's how they did me back during that time. You know, that's how they did us. They came at us hard. Because they wasn't talking to us, be honest. They were talking to the disease or that evilness. You get me? So I want to make it so you'll understand, like, that good side, the bad side. You get me? So they was talking to that, not actually talking to the individual. I thought they were talking to me. I thought they were screaming at me. Who y'all think you don't talk to me like that? But they wasn't talking to you. They was talking to that negative stuff in you. And I didn't catch all of that till later. So that's why they said take the cotton out your ears and put it in your mouth. That was to soak up information. You get it? So look, in that process, right? And then they said sit on the front row. Door 90, 90, 90, door 90, 90, 90. You know, I mean, this is I don't know, because you know, I'm on home monitor, so I haven't, you know, been actually sitting in a meeting for a while, so I have to do my own thing and read other stuff. But anyway, this is how they, you know, did me. Get a sponsor, get a home group, get involved. Now I'm telling you, a lot of people, I'm gonna tell y'all, I sponsored a lot of men and women over the years, and we're still friends and everything like that, but they live a productive way of life. A lot of them don't come to the meetings no more. But what I do, I tell them this. I said, never forget where you came from. In case you get to thinking about wanting to do this and, you know, go back to your old ways. Show up. Don't go pick up. You know? So now this I'm kind of jumping with that a little bit, but catch it. I'm gonna bring it back. So they sit on the front row, just take the cotton out your ears, put it in your mouth. Because I had to learn some new information. I had to learn to change people, places, and things. I got high with my family, and I think that's the word that got me. I had to see. I gotta watch my words over here. With only my family, basically, right? So I had to change people, places, and things. I had to change my family. I had to stop going around them as much. And right now, to this day, not being smart. Well, most of us back during that time that did what we did, but I had to get away from them because right now I'm changing people, places, and things, you know, and I couldn't go to the clubs no more. I couldn't hang out in the bars no more. A lot of the places that would anytime something would kick that habit back up or remind me of what I was doing, I had to get away from it, you know. So then I got a home group. I got a sponsor. His goal was to work me just through the 12 steps and the 12 traditions. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about the program itself, but basically that's where I'm going. But I'm trying to share it just from a conversation type, where as time go on, I probably will. I got to get all my stuff again because I had all that till this situation happened. But anyway, I got to get all that again just in case I want to read certain things towards the 12-step program. Not only that, if I want to come in with scripture, God guide me to do scripture because that's where I'm at too. And I'm only sharing this more because of the spiritual walk that I walk today. I served in the beginning. Remember when I said honesty, and I was just getting ready to quote the first step, right? We admitted we was powerless over our addiction and our lives had become unmanageable, right? So that's why I don't want to, I want to take it there to a certain level because I'm not in a NA program itself, but it's just talking about the 12 steps. That's where I want to carry it at because basically I'm talking about spiritual, not religious or not religion. I am talking about spiritual principles. Let me make it clear. That's why I said 12-step spiritual journey. And that's what I'm going to call it. The 12-step spiritual journey. What that journey did, it guided me to a power greater than myself. It guided me to a God of my understanding. So now I'm going to back it up a little bit because when I talked about honesty, when I talked about open-mindedness is having faith in a power greater than yourself. That means other than you. Now, back during this time, they were talking about it could be that doorknob, it could be whatever, right? Because now it's different. I'm older, It was the people for me with the clean time and all that type of stuff because I was just amazed. I was blown away. So it's talking about believing in a power greater than yourself. It's taking you to believe in the power that you can surrender your will and your life over to. Because you could not tell me I wasn't Donald Trump Jr. with the world revolved around me. Y'all don't get it, do you? I see it. I see it. And a lot of us see it. A lot of us see the lies, the manipulating. A lot of us see the games because we come from that. And real recognize real. Keep it real. Remember when I said my goal was to become one of the biggest hustlers in Baltimore City by the time I turned 26? You could not tell me. I had the thing out there. It was all about me and my family and us did what we did. So, and once again, I'm trying to watch words because of the TikTok. But now check it out. Lying, manipulating, no good, son of a sea biscuits appear to be the best thing that could ever walk in your life. I think I wasted some of my soda. You heard what I just said? A lying, manipulating, that's the point. Can make you feel like they the best thing going. That was me. So I see it. I see it. And it's not to knock it. Because my thing is, he good at what he do. That's why a lot of melanated men go for it. But see, the thing is, because of some of the things that happened with him with charges, Then this how you play that game. And God, please forgive me, because I'm kind of winging a little bit. Now, when they come for you with felonies or whatever, throw that at them. That's how you play the game. He plays. And if he ain't no different than you, me, anybody, he played the game. Or he's playing the games. He buying time. And he's showing us where they make that statement, no man is above the law. Y'all don't pay attention? Let me get off that spiritual plane. That plane. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. So, as I was saying, it doesn't feel right no more. That game. Know why? Because I have a conscience now. I developed a relationship by being honest with Steve, by having faith in Steve. It became selfish and self-centered, but more in another way, where I became more selfish and self-centered, where I became selfless. I had to make it about me on a real personal note. Not to please everybody else. I had to make it personal for Steve. And then what happened as I began to grow spiritually, right? Now I understand the importance because I know about Steve. I know about being honest with Steve. I know about having faith back in Steve. I know how to have trust back in Steve. And now I'm starting to develop a relationship with the God of my understanding. A power greater than myself. A higher power. And guess what? I'm starting to get into the church thing. So I'm starting to go deeper. Catch where I'm going? I'm starting to go deep now. Because remember when I shared about the 18-month-old baby? That I would go to the bathroom throwing up, feel like I was choking on the penis, the baby? So guess what? Now I'm looking at being honest on a deeper level. So I'm sitting in the house now because I'm doing step work. I'm growing spiritually. Now I got confidence. I got courage. I'm looking at me now. Whatever that might have happened in the past, now I'm starting to, let's see what went on. So I'm sitting in the living room, get ready to do my fourth step. And I'm praying and ask God, to take me. Look, I go inside. I'm going inside. Now y'all see the lights. It was bright like this. You see the lights. But I went inside like this. And all of a sudden it got dark. Because I'm taking an honest inventory. Man, I'm being honest with myself again. But I'm on a deeper level now. Because now I'm feeling the spirit of honesty, the spirit of faith, the spirit of trusting. And what's starting to happen, right? I'm going in the inside. And I happen to see that little 5-year-old boy in the corner, balled up. Now I'm the adult. 5-year-old. It's me. So I go over to the 5-year-old. And I grab him. I got you. Because the adult now has to secure that kid. Let him know I got you. You all right? I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about what I had to do for me. I had to embrace the boy. I had to embrace the kid. I had to help the kid inside of me understand and know that you will be okay. Ain't no joke for me. Now you see the freedom I had where I can talk about me and let me keep moving it right. I'm embracing a young man. This adult man is dealing with the boy now. And I'm in. Embrace it. I got you. I'm gonna protect you. You're gonna be all right. So I ended up going to a therapist because I wanted to know. I don't know if I was actually, violated or what. I don't know. But I believe for the stuff that I done, running from life, that there's a good chance that I might have been violated. Right? So I accept the fact that, I might have been violated. I don't remember nothing like that because it was young. So I'm talking to this therapist, right? And I'm telling her where I went. And she telling me, she said, well, the mind played tricks on you and stuff like that. And I kind of looked at her and said to myself, you can say whatever you want, woman. Something happened to me. So now I don't know, but I accepted the fact. Because this is the healing process. This is the healing process, right? This is the healing because I'm discovering. See, I gotta go back and discover what went on so that I can learn to recover. First, you gotta visit, discover, get to the root cause. That's why we got the Team Talk show. Let's get to the root cause of the issue. Let's get to the root cause of why our children acting the way they acting. And that's not even mentioning the adult. Because those are the ones that I normally worked with that I had to teach the how of the program to. Being honest to thy own self, be true. Having faith back in yourself, trusting back in yourself, learning how to love you again. Communicating with yourself. That's how I do the people that comes into my housing program. And I didn't realize until a lady told me. She said, you know what you are? No, I just help people. I help people, take them to a certain level, guide them to the professionals. She said, you are a life coach. But now I didn't look at it. You sponsor now. Basically, the way you sponsored, people in the program. I didn't realize I was doing that, even though my program is transitional housing. But I know how important it is to learn to be honest with yourself in order for you to go and talk to that professional, to tell them what's going on with you, whatever, how you feel, where you at, blah, 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 so you can get the help. Because that's what I do. You come into my housing program, you have to sign up for the mental health program. Because if you fell on hard times, either you're dealing with depression, your life has spiraled out of control, so that can be a part of depression, or you dealing with some type of mental issues, and it's okay. It's okay. That's the whole point of reaching out, getting the proper help to help balance this out. It's a chemical imbalancement within the brain. Sometimes, a life trauma from an early age can cause that to flicker. I'm going to tell you what I found out too in this process. Religion, traditional or organized religion, when they try to make you think you're supposed to act, behave, walk, talk, dress, do this a certain way in order to get to meet him. That's not true. That's not true. And that's how they trap a lot of us. That's called another form of enslavement and oppression. Now, mind you, I didn't understand none of that. I understand it now. And that's not, and don't, I ain't mad at nobody. That's a part of what people do. I can say a part of business, right? But that's a part of what people do. I'm not mad. You continue doing what you're doing. I'm going to continue doing what God called me to do. And that's not to take it too far, because I know my journey is spiritual. I'm going to go there with you, because I'm going to have to get right in this. I'm looking at the time. I got 5 more minutes. The journey for me, once I started doing the necessary work of how honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness, then it trickled down again, honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. So when I went inside of myself and I started looking at that kid inside, I did a self-inventory. I was doing a fearless, moral inventory on myself to find out what went on in my life. Because of that, I gained, or I mustered the courage and the confidence to share those deep, dark secrets with that person who was sponsoring me. I was only getting it out. That's all it was. But I found out in that process, because I was angry. I don't want to say hateful. That's what's coming to mind. But resentful, hateful. All right, I was trying to watch the words. Angry man, nasty, mean person. So now you understand why some of our kids act the way they do. And sometimes it might not click you. Maybe somebody touched them. And everybody ain't been touched now. It could be just abandonment issues. Could be abuse. You know what I mean? It could be, it's a lot now that comes along with that. Could be the lead in the house. It could, something for our younger ones. And some adults too that never been treated for certain things that messes with this. And they need to balance it out, right? With something positive. So anyway, in that process, I had to look at the harm that I was beginning to cause. I caused people from way back then. So now I'm starting to look at the anger, the insecurities, the jealousy, the hatred, the bitterness, the envy. So I had to pray and ask God a day at a time to relieve me of those things, so I won't keep acting out on that nasty, resentful, that mean behavior. You get me? Then I had to turn around, right? I had to pray and ask God to remove those things from me. Now, mind you, if you're not paying attention, I'm talking about, once again, being willing to let things go from the past. Whatever resentment I was carrying, I had to learn to practice love. Whatever anger I was feeling inside, I had to learn to forgive and practice love. Because it's all around being loving, kind, considerate, thoughtful. When you already know what it's like to be resentful, angry, jealous, insecure. You already know the negative side. So now when I'm getting into the personality side of stuff. So I had to ask God a day at a time, basically to arrest them. That anger, that resentment, that fear. Then I started looking at how I harmed people. I know what happened to me, but as a result of what happened to me, I hurt other people. So now it's getting to the point where now I see the harm I caused. So I had to learn to forgive myself for the way that I behaved. Not to say I had to learn to forgive the person for what they've done to me. Because now if it happened, I had to learn to forgive. Now I'm going to tell you, for some reason, my father keep popping up. My mother told me, she told my father he could never see me no more. She never told me why. But for some reason, that and him goes together. I don't know. But I accepted the fact there's a good chance. You get me? That's all I'm saying. I'm not too sure. I'm not, but I accepted the fact that these things, because of certain behaviors that I practiced as a child coming up, helped me to understand there's a good chance something happened, right? So anyway, 62 years old, can he tell you if my father living or not? I don't know. But guess what? I'm growing now. I'm growing spiritually. I don't like that side. For a lot of y'all that think I'm mean and I'm nasty or I'm evil, that's your bull junk. Okay? Because I know how to express myself. See, if I'm hurting about something, I learned to be honest with Steve Copeland. Don't get mad because you cannot express yourself to the way I do. That's the whole point of me doing the lives that I do, so that we can talk about some of these things. But when you get upset because of something outside of you, it ain't that person, it's you. That's what I learned about me. You can say anything you want out your mouth. And a lot of y'all did towards me. Now, I had to go back and make amends for hurting the people. I had to make a list of the people that I caused harm to. Rather I hit them upside the head with something, rather I laid them out, rather I took their money, rather blah, 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 blah. Now, I had to learn who to make amends to, where it was safe and where it was unsafe, right? So that's part of healing. You still healing yourself. So right now to this day, and I'm gonna show you something else. Remember when I said in the 4-step, I did a 4-step inventory? Each day, I do an inventory. If I'm feeling uncomfortable about something, I know how to sit down. All right, Steve, what's going on? What's wrong, bro? So I have to do a self-inventory of my day. It's not an everyday thing, right? Because when I go to lay down at night, and once you have done a self-inventory, because God is letting you know if you've done something wrong or not, the goal is praying to God. That's why we talk about prayer and meditation. Now, for a lot of y'all that don't understand where I'm at right now, I'm in 10 and 11 step. I'm just talking. I'm talking basically about prayer, meditation. It's talking with God. 10, 11. The 12th step. Once he make whatever it is revealed to you, is correcting or going to carry it out. So if I done something wrong or I said something wrong, and I'm feeling, uncomfortable about it spiritually, is to correct that wrong, because I went against my morals, my values, my principles, the good, the integrity, the quality life that I'm trying to live by. So for a lot of y'all that don't understand, anytime Steve Copeland is wrong and you hear me say, I apologize, I didn't mean no harm. I don't have to be too direct. I don't have to kiss your boo-boo. But I'm trying to correct the part that I played. If you forgive me, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. You can keep carrying it, because I didn't correct my part. That's why I decided to do, oh my God, I done went 3 minutes past. That's why I decided to do this, because God laid it on my spirit. I don't hang with cliques. I'm a Christian man. I love Christ. When I say I love Christ, I'm talking about the personality. I'm talking about the person that I read about. I'm talking about the individual. Whether he was dark skinned, light skinned, brown skinned, skin, it doesn't matter to me. If it mattered that much to you, that's fine. But I look at the role he played, how he came to the broken, how he made them feel important, how he made them feel whole. And a lot of y'all know it and you forgot. How he fed the homeless, how he embraced them, how he got donations, or he got them to take care of each other, like he's showing me today, which I'm not able to run around and do a lot of the stuff that I used to. But I done made some phone calls today too. Guy needed a refrigerator and a stove. His landlord is not fixing the stuff. But I was told he had to put the information in online. They can't jump across other people waiting. But it's going to be hard to get a refrigerator, but they can get him a box spring and all that. I asked y'all to donate. My box truck is on the lot. I got a window to put in that box truck. Either way, whether y'all help me or not, the truck is going to get to running. It's running. I just got to get a window put in it. In my regular personal car, I got to get that up and running again because I'm not able to move about and do some things as far as getting around and helping people the way I normally was doing. I talked with a friend of mine that know I work with women and children. He said, Steve, I got 3 houses that I want you to work with out of with your business. He said, you can do with them what you want. But this, because he already do the assisted living stuff. So that's one of the goals too, for us to get bigger places that help the homeless and less fortunate people. But see, a lot of y'all want to sit back, and I'm only telling y'all this is what God then laid on my spirit to do. And I'm sharing this with y'all. But see, y'all will sit back and you want to criticize me. It's not something that I woke up and said, well, I'm gonna go do this, well, I'm gonna go do that. And it's people that's fighting me not to do what God said do. It ain't me. And even when I look at Christ's life, when I look at the disciples' life, when I look at their lives, they came up against obstacles too. And I be saying to myself, I wonder, did they go through this? Did they go through that? Do y'all think like that? But then what you'll do, you'll start out real well. Your heart means well, but then you run across obstacles and you turn around and you run. I want to run too, but I realize it's not me. And I'll say stuff like this to y'all, right? Tractor trailer, that's my profession. Driving a tractor trailer. I retired. It'll be 5 years in January. That gave me more time now to, grow in this area towards helping our people. Now, I shared the spiritual process with y'all because that's where it began for me. Now, Friday, I'm going to talk about religion versus spirituality, which basically you probably hear some of the same things because my life is not held bound by a particular religion. That's not what I follow like that today. I don't mind. I got Bibles upstairs. I got books upstairs. I got stuff that a Muslim guy gave to me when I was in the prison, just so I can have a better understanding of what they do and how they do things. That's all. But I'm not a Muslim or Hebrew or Israelite. If that's how you feel and that's what your religion is teaching you, that's fine. I'm a God-fearing, loving, kind, considerate man. That's my character. That's my personality. It's not based around a particular religion. So I love y'all. And that's not to knock you if that's where you at. But stop taking whatever you study and whatever you believe, and this is the way it's supposed to be, and this is how we are. And it's not everybody. And please don't let me talk about the 12 tribes. Please don't. Because you're trying to make it seem like it's just one. And this was after Adam and Eve. And it began all over. And we only going off of information that other people wrote. So we wasn't there to see it for ourselves, to say that it's truly accurate. So stop. I was doing it early on. because I grew up in the Baptist church. Until I begin to understand or realize there's a lot of other religions out there. And they teach you a certain way of living quarterly to their traditions, their laws, their way of life. You got to be like this, you got to be like that in order for you to get into heaven. But when you ask the Spirit, is this the way? Or now I ain't talking about Mark, Luke, John, David, Isaiah, Moses. I'm talking about when you personally, and you will start reading other stuff to show you whether you go through Jesus Christ or not, you God's anyway. You are God's child anyway, his creation. And I don't want to get all into that, because guess why? Because whatever you believe is what you believe. And it's not, I'm not trying to take nothing away from it. But whenever you hear me say I'm a Christian, I'm not talking about a religion. I'm talking about a human being. When it talks about being Christ-like, I'm talking about the human being. Loving, caring. I can say that all day long. And you know what y'all will do? Y'all will go right into a religion every time. I will tell you all day long. It's personal for me. You will go right into a religion. Well, see, his name is really Yusah, Asa. Okay. That's what you read up. And the Bible will tell you when his name was switched over to Jehovah. So that's why he's known by many names. But we understand it's only one name that holds the power that's above all other names. So stick to what you know. And if that's how God working with you, that's awesome. Because I started understanding after a while, I didn't know that God just don't speak English. I thought he spoke just English. Till I heard Curl and Showell say this. She said God can say no at one time in all different languages. I was like, oh my God. Because a lot of us are so closed-minded, we think he only speak English. He speak Latin, Hebrew, African. He even speak to the mentally ill, what makes them think they're losing their mind because they don't, they think something is not right. So it takes people like me to help them to understand it's okay. Because at one time I thought I was losing mine. But he guided me to a point and snapped me and brought me back. I'm like, God, please stop doing that. But some people been guided to a certain point in their life where they seen certain things and it's unbelievable to them, so they snap. And they can't talk to people to tell people nothing because you'll think they crazy. But guess what? They can talk to Steve Copeland because I can relate. And I thank God I did not lose my mind in that sense. So I know, and I talk with a lot of them. Most of them are your homeless individuals. So understand why Christ came for them. Now you tell me what other human being that you read about or you studied about that embraced the homeless, that fed the homeless, that clothed the homeless, that got each other to take care of each other. When you tell me what other human being you know brought them out of darkness, ran off demons. So what prophet you know, what rabbi you know had that power like that? Because it's only one person I read about out of all the other names. And God, once again, I'm like 15 minutes over. One day, I'll be disciplined to 45 minutes. I love y'all. And it's a lot of times I do not feel like doing this. I do. I mean, I want to be like a lot of y'all. Don't care. Look at yourself. When you know the gifts that you or the gift that you have in you, look at yourself. Look at how you've been called. So I understand what it takes, right? To get out there like I'm doing coming on. And then over here, I'm doing Instagram on my iPhone. I'm doing TikTok on my other iPhone. And I'm doing my restream on my iPad, which I'm trying to get my laptop fixed. And I'm trying to embed all of this where I can just do it. I can restream to 8 stations at one time, platforms. I'm only doing this because God laid it on my spirit. This is not something that I woke up and said, well, let me go do this. Well, I'm going to do that. Well, I'm going to do that. No, y'all already know how I feel sometimes. I'm just saying, I was upstairs, look, went to the doctors, was late, so they didn't see me. So I came back home, stopped, got me a little sleep, something to eat, ate my food, and I'm like, it's 2 o'clock. I'm gonna have to get ready to go downstairs. And I'm like, my mind saying no, or is it my mind or my body? Because one of them was like, I don't feel like it. And the other one was like, no, go. But I'm just saying that because, be honest, I understand. Don't think I don't understand you coming on and you trying to spread, what's up, baby? And you trying to spread some good news, you know, the people and everything. And then people, just because they not where you at. And I'm going to tell you, when I watch other people that's spiritually inclined, and I know God, they doing stuff against their own personal will, I can relate. I'll be like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. Because I understand when you have a calling on your life, but you don't feel like being obedient to that calling. I don't give a freak, stuff like that. I'm just saying. But you do it anyway because God was good. God has been good to me for the past almost 32 years of living this other way of life. And this is my way of just spreading the message. And I'm going to share this with you, Gary. I've been knowing you for almost 32 years, a day at a time. NA is not everything itself, bro. This is me putting out the message as well. If you want to spend the rest of your life just going to meetings, that's fine. But it's more to life. We are clean now. We're not doing the things that we used to do. It's a lot of people in the community don't know where they are at the meetings or can't make it to a meeting. So they need people like this. So when y'all start getting into that little selfish mode, there you go again, blah, 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 understand that's your stuff. Don't put somebody else in your shoes when you are afraid to step out. When you understand what's going on, people trying to shut you down for spreading the good news. I tell y'all I'm home on the home monitor. Oh, what he did. He must have did this. He must have did that. Tell me what I did. Because they sure ain't. Tell me what I did. So now when I hear somebody say that they was accused of stuff that they didn't do, now I can say I understand. But no, you know what everybody else would do? You had that done something. You had that done this. You had that done that. No, you didn't. And some of them, I listened to a guy the other day was in prison since he was like 16. And I can tell you, the prosecutor herself know that he didn't do anything because she said it. And I already know. She know it was a fake police report. She know it was fake charges, but it was like, I'm going to throw it at you anyway. And I was looking at her. Couldn't even say one word because I was scared the judge might lock me up, because y'all see how I can act sometimes, right? And it's not personal. It's just I'm telling you was Steve. So I couldn't be me. I had to stand there and allow them to accuse me of everything they were saying. And I'm like, who, me? Huh? What? 1 minute, we know you didn't do this. We know you didn't do that, but you was there. We understand on the personal note, you did not do it. But the point, you was there. Yeah, that was my rental property, my transitional housing. That was my client. I did not expect for nobody to swing on it. So why am I being charged? Because you was right there. You gonna try to charge me home invasion on my rental property? Y'all didn't know that? Google it. You ain't know? That's my business. That's my business address. One of the houses is my office space. The other one is my studio space, where I do rooms, transition the rest of the part. But it's not rental agreements. It's transitioning, independent living. Do you know that, Miss Prosecutor? Your boss do. Ivan Bates know what I do. Brandon Scott know what I do. And a lot of our council members around Baltimore City know what Steve Copeland do. But did it matter to you? Because you want to find somebody guilty. Whitey. And let's keep it real. The officer was white, and the detective lady that got mad at me was white. That's why the charges went from 15 to 17. And I did not know I had 2 cases. I thought it was just 1, because the detective added another case on it. And they raided my niece's house looking for some Ray-Ban glasses and all this stuff. See, they don't know all about that. They don't know that while I was locked up, it was a guy found dead in the house. And he kind of looked like me. I told my lawyer, I said, this is bigger than what you realize with the Eastern District Police Department. How my niece get into this? I can't reach now one of the clients that was in both houses. Why? To find out what really happened. Why? Now, see, I can't ask questions because I have to try to stick to the lies. But my lawyer already know. He already know, because I told him. I said, this is bigger than what you realize, bro. This is much bigger. But see, a lot of y'all don't want to pay attention, because I'm going to tell y'all where your mind at now. You had to have done something wrong. You had to have done something wrong. I'm a community activist. I'm a civil rights advocate. What do community activists do? What do civil rights advocates do? They fight for the people. That's what I did wrong by stepping up to the plate by myself. That's what I did wrong. Help get the $15 minimum wage passed spoke on it twice. Fought to get the plane here to help reduce the unalive rate in Baltimore City. Because y'all don't realize our people being set up to take each other out, but y'all okay with that. But then when I get to running off in my mouth, oh, he crazy. Something wrong with him. I'm only like that bullhorn. That's all. Trying to wake us up to what's happening to us. Do y'all think I want them to know where I live at? No. They stopped my daughter in my truck one day and told my daughter, "Ooh, tell your father," I said, "Hi, we know you. If I know your father is." I said, "Give me his name and stuff. Don't mess with the kids. If you don't like what I'm saying, you don't like what I'm doing, come to me, suckers. Come to me. Because to me, y'all are human beings just like me. I don't put y'all. Now, I understand, I respect the work you're doing and all of that. But you are a human being. I can't put you nowhere else. Rather, you got that. It's a lot of sticker boys out there with that. You know what I mean? And they don't have a problem in taking you out. And that's where y'all at. A lot of y'all are the same way. So y'all are no different than the ones you call yourself trying to, protect us from. But see, they don't like when I keep it real. When I talk, oh, he mad about something. He ain't mad about nothing. Not in that sense, you know what I mean? Come on. I'm just talking. I just realized no, it's not that I just realized. That's the point of me saying keeping it real, Steve. If I can't be me, and I tried as far as getting it out, just talking. If I can't be me, who else can I be? You want me to stand up here like, yes, the weather is such and such and such, and over there is blah, 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 and be pausing and structuring. They get paid. Maybe I need to start doing that. I might get paid. I might start getting paid. But you got to respect that. And like I said, and I am going to end it because I'm almost a half an hour over this. 45 minutes, huh? 45 minutes. So look, but in that process, and I'm a kind of finish up Friday too. Everything that has happened, God wanted me to see it and experience certain things for myself. And I'm gonna just say this too, because I realized through the process of me going through what I'm going through, and if I say I'm a Christian, right, being like Christ, and if you know what his mission and purpose was all about, and I'm not talking about Mark, Luke, John, Matthews, all of them, and the Old Testament. I'm talking about if you know what their purpose and mission was all about. A lot of y'all understand their lives and all of that, which is beautiful. Don't get it wrong. But your life is there too. So I begin to see personal experiences. I'm like, oh my God. And I be questioning myself. I wondered, did like David felt like this or Moses felt like that? They sent me 2 restrictions, but I'm gonna send something back to them. So I don't know if they restrict that or they might restrict because I said something about the words about the using part. I know certain things they don't want you to say. Certain things because it's like it offends people that's probably still stuck in certain areas. That's what I'm talking about. But that's not being offensive. And sometimes you got to come hard at people to help them to at least say, I need to straighten myself up. Because that's the whole goal when you talking about self. and helping people understand that they came hard for me and to let people see themselves. That's all. To let them know, stop taking certain things for granted. So I understand. That's why I'm trying not to do too much to TikTok just in case they do take it down. But I heard they got lemonade. So, however, it's all politics. However they do it. But let me, cause I won't take this too much further. But that's the whole purpose, y'all. I come on here. Um, I got 5,000 Facebook members and friends. Maybe 2, 3 of y'all comment on my stuff. So many church members, so many NA friends. Or let me call you, I'm gonna start calling y'all associates. You're not friends, you know. And the ones that's more seasoned, that guided my life through this process, I still have the utmost respect for them. Because we old timers now. But I got church members on my page. You know how I know? Because when you post stuff, it comes past my feed. So I believe a lot of y'all have me blocked, or not blocked, but for the notification, have your notification turned off so you won't know when I'm on and I'm talking. But a lot of y'all do know when I'm on. You just personally, and that's fine. That's fine. Because one thing I can say, as a man of God, I don't have none of y'all blocked. I don't have none of y'all fixed where you can't post nothing that will come across my daggone stuff. But a lot of y'all fix it where you won't respond, Lee, saying, keep up the great work. Rather you believe in my approach towards stuff or not. Just those are just encouragements. That's all. So you really need to look at yourself and see who you serve. You can talk that Gucci good stuff all you want, because one thing I realized, a lot of us praise Christ and we talk about Christ. We represent, we want to live like Christ, but we don't want to die like Christ. And that's what I realized. Because I realized doing the stuff that I do, I can become unalive in that sense. But what I started realizing, you got evil, you got good and evil out there. You got bad. Wait, I'm trying to think, because it's the evil or. Either you're going to be warm, sensitive, loving, caring, kind, or you're going to be this evil, nasty person. And a lot of us that call ourselves emulating and walking as Christ. Now, it's not to say sometimes that other side might not show up a little bit. When that turkey show up, that's when you say, you know what, I apologize, because that's the realness, the flesh. You know what I mean? That one showed up. So you want to apologize because that's just another part of you. That's part of your personality. That's what makes up the person. Who else can you be? And you know what? What I just said, who I was looking at when I was just saying me. Who else can I be? But I can tell you right now, I'm a loving, kind, warm, sensitive guy. A cry baby. I'm telling you. But once I realized if I said something or did something wrong to hurt you and you make it known to me, I'm going to apologize. But I begin to understand too, I can't look on here and see how many people like views I have or who's looking at me, because my lives go all over. They are public. So they're seeing in Africa, they're seeing in the UK. On TikTok, same things. On my Facebook Live, mainly, because that was the first one I was using. It's public. Man, I'm starting to restream now personally with Instagram. until I'm able to embed it into my regular broadcast network. Not only that, I done pull back downstream where I can start doing the TV stuff. I'm no different than a Oprah Winfrey or Tyler Perry or anybody that has a talk show that started out, in the basement or working with somebody else in a room. I'm no different. And I have to look at creators. I have to look at promoters or producers. I'm learning stuff basically on my own. What to do, what not to do. I don't want to lose me in the way I do things in the process of keeping it real. And if you're not the type that comes on or express yourself like I do, and understand, if you know me, I'm not a violent person. Y'all act like I go around knocking people up, beating, not today. Beating people upside their head and all that bull junk, not today. My brothers and them taught me stuff like, don't let your left hand know what your right hand doing. Catch the hint. So I'm just saying, for me, I ain't trying to do nothing today to even have this on. And everybody that basically knows me, except for some of y'all that wants to be smart, know I should not be in this. Tell you what happened to me. Know what I do as a community activist, as a human rights advocate. I don't know everything about the law, but what little I do learn, and when it comes to representing Baltimore City, if they say, Steve, we need you to come down City Hall and we're going to address this right here and address that. Well, what's going on? Well, Chantalisa not giving, I'm just using her as an example, the school superintendent not giving them the proper curriculum to teach our kids, and our kids running around buck wild and y'all wondering why. And then on top of that, guess what? They done took it from the parents where you can't discipline your children or you're going to end up going to prison, but it's okay for the police to take them down. And y'all okay with that? See how they have a lot of our heads messed up? You cannot beat or discipline your own child, but they can. With the village. I was sharing it with my son today. He didn't really understand what it was. So I had to explain to him the way we grew up. Now, see, the good part with me and my ex, none of us drink or used in that sense. She might do something occasionally when she out. I don't know. I know she used to when we got together, she stopped. But my kids did not grow up around it. Thank you, God. So then I begin to see it's not as much as what I say out my mouth, because they watching their father. See, that's why a lot of y'all need to stop doing what you're doing as far as judging me. My kids watch me. I'm not going to do nothing to embarrass my kids. Y'all are doing that. But my kids know their father. They know their father speaking out for people that really don't even appreciate it. They know it. When my son came and got me, and I'm right in there, Morgan. We riding from over here, riding down North Avenue, going down to the University of Maryland. So as you switch over in certain neighborhoods, you can feel the shift in it, right? Do you know how they feel? When you could sit back and say, I thank God I was able to raise my kids in a more safer and productive area. It's in the city, but it's not in the inner city. And it's not to say that that can't change. Maybe not 100%, but it's not to say that we can't build communities and help them structure and live productive ways where the money that they spend will basically go back into their own community. This is the type of stuff I'm talking to people with now. This is the type of stuff that for the last years of me doing this, I've been setting stuff up with other people to help our inner city people. Looking at tiny houses, looking at fabricated houses, looking at container houses that will run them at least $100,000. It's not a lot of profit for whoever, but the point is, you got to do something in a more healthier way and work with the people. You're doing it for the middle class. You're doing it for the conservatives. You're doing it for the millionaires and the billionaires and the trillionaires. The inner city people don't need to live pretty well too. But see, I already know it doesn't matter to y'all. I already know. My son asked me, who did I vote for? I said, nobody. I said, I felt good about hers because the reason why it was like she was alive. She was alive. I said, if you look at the rest of them, they're in their suits, they're in their ties, and it's like a role they playing because that's what politics is about. I said, Steve, that's why your father don't. I don't vote because I know y'all full of shit. I know. And it disappoints me because you cannot mix politics and business. It's policies. We got a businessman who really don't understand nothing about political science. Know why? Because he's not a politician. But he's real. Every time I say real good about business, somebody say, no, you're not, because you done did 6 bankruptcies. And be honest, he know how to play that. He borrowed other people money, and when it came back to paying them, he filed bankruptcy. I'm not your most educated man, but I am not far. I'm not dumb at all. And y'all don't see this. And y'all will sit back, a lot of y'all will justify the behavior and all of that. But look at the people that money he took that probably didn't recover from when he filed bankruptcy to pay them back. Y'all don't see all that. With his son, about 21, somewhere along the line, he'd only spend time with his son. He'd only spend time with his wife. He only spend time with his family. But he's a good man. But I'm the sorriest thing that ever walked Baltimore streets. None of that money. He don't triples the money down. He ain't got nothing to do with that. But to y'all, it's like he's going to do this and do that. I heard of some people talking about that. They was talking right where I'm at, and everything the lady said, I had to tune in because a lot of y'all don't realize a lot of it is this. It's how good you sound. She even mentioned the three branches, how they all had that it's their job to work together. One individual cannot, or they're not supposed to have all of that power like that. Because that's when they become dictators. So he would have to find a way to overthrow Congress. And the House and the Senate. To gain more control than them. And she said it herself last night too. She said he's going to mess around and he's going to end up getting impeached. And I've been saying the same thing. I love y'all, and I got to get off here because it's 45 minutes over. So I'm going to go ahead and end this, y'all, and thank y'all for tuning in. Sometimes when I don't feel like coming on, I come, and I just get so powered up. But I love y'all, and I'm out.